Caitlin, how excited are you for this next WNBA season? New head coach and Stephanie White. You added Natasha Howard, who Sue knows really well, DeWanna Bonner, which I know really well, Sophie Cunningham. I mean, it seems like, you know, from the outside, this roster.
Like in the playoffs, we just didn't have that. We were a young group. Even Kels, like obviously with being with the Fever through her entire career, she hasn't really had the opportunity to play in a ton of playoff games. So having that, whether it's Sydney Colson, whether it's DB, whether it's Natasha Howard, whoever it is, I think having that experience is going to be really good for us and that leadership in the locker rooms.
It feels like it's been forever since we've seen Caitlin Clark light up the court. After a whirlwind 12 months dominating at Iowa and taking the WNBA by storm with the Indiana Fever, she finally got a well-earned break. But now, with Season 2 around the corner, Caitlin Clark is back, and the Fever are making sure she's ready to level up. Caitlin's rookie season wasn't just big, it was historic. The Fever rolled out the red carpet, bigger arenas, nationally televised games, and special events all built around their new star. And on the court, she delivered. Clark shattered the rookie assist record, made league-wide headlines with her jaw-dropping range, and was crowned Rookie of the Year, nearly unanimously. But while Clark shined, the Fever were swept in the first round of the playoffs. It was a reality check and a wake-up call. The first move? Coaching. The Fever knew they needed someone who could elevate not just Clark, but the entire squad. Enter Stephanie White, a seasoned leader with WNBA Coach of the Year honors and deep Indiana roots. White's return to her home state isn't just sentimental, it's strategic. She's expected to push Clark to improve defensively, keep her composure on the court, and help guide this young core toward championship-level basketball. With the coaching set, the Fever turned to free agency. They re-signed Kelsey Mitchell and added serious experience across the board. Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Colson, Sophie Cunningham, and Brianna Turner. These aren't just role players, they're leaders. Exactly what a young core led by Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull needs to survive the highs and lows of a long WNBA season. This version of the Fever, it's not the final product, but it's a huge step forward. The short-term goal is simple: return to the playoffs, maybe even win a series. But this season is also about freedom. Clark no longer carries the burden of being the lone spark. With a strong supporting cast and a veteran coach in her corner, she can focus on refining her game, leading when needed, and just playing basketball. And if things click, the Fever could shake up the league. Looking ahead, 2025's free agency window could be a game changer. With so many top players potentially on the move, the Fever have a real chance to build a long-term title contender. But it all starts now. Caitlin Clark's second year isn't just about personal growth. It's the beginning of something bigger in Indiana. Caitlin Clark's rookie year was unforgettable. She didn't just meet expectations, she shattered them, breaking records, drawing massive crowds, and transforming the Indiana Fever into one of the most watched teams in the WNBA. But now, year 2 begins, and this time, it's not about adjusting, it's about ascending. No more excuses, no more learning curves. Clark's got a full season under her belt, and the Fever have built a roster designed to compete. She knows the pace, the physicality, the demands, and more importantly, how to lead. What's exciting is that this season, she's not alone in carrying that weight. With experienced teammates around her, Clark can focus on growing her game, from refining her shot selection to improving on defense and limiting those emotional technical fouls. Clark is about to evolve. Let's be real, the Fever weren't a championship team last year, not with squads like the Liberty and the Aces in the mix, but with a balanced roster, a proven head coach, and one of the brightest stars in basketball history in Caitlin Clark. The Fever are knocking on that door. They've upgraded on every front: coaching, experience, depth. They've gone from a rebuilding project to a team that could actually make noise in the playoffs, maybe even win a series, maybe even more. And that's what makes this season so exciting. We're not just watching a rookie sensation anymore. We're watching a superstar in the making, backed by a franchise finally ready to rise. This season isn't just about wins and losses. It's about proving the Fever are for real, because the 2025 offseason is going to be massive. Almost the entire league hits free agency, and if Indiana shows promise now, they'll become a premier destination. Think about it. If Clark thrives, if the Fever compete, and if the culture clicks under Stephanie White, suddenly Indiana becomes more than just a team with potential. It becomes a contender. One of the most intriguing aspects of this upcoming season, the development of Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston as a 1-2 punch. In year 1, we saw flashes of brilliance between the two, the pick and roll chemistry, the inside-out threat, and the trust-building game by game. But with better spacing, experienced players around them, and a full offseason to prepare, this duo could become one of the most dangerous in the WNBA. If Boston continues to dominate the paint and Clark stretches the floor, defenses will be forced to pick their poison. DeWanna Bonner brings championship experience and leadership. Natasha Howard adds defensive versatility and rebounding. Sydney Colson, she's the locker room glue, the spark plug who keeps energy high and morale even higher. These aren't just mentors for Clark, they're competitors who know what it takes to win in this league. And the best part, their presence allows the young core, Clark, Boston, Hull, to develop without all the pressure sitting on their shoulders. So what does Stephanie White bring tactically? She's known for her ability to build a cohesive offense and manage big personalities, a skill that's vital when blending young stars and seasoned vets. Expect more off-ball movement, more transition play, and most importantly, accountability on defense. Clark already joked about cutting down on techs, but under White, that discipline is going to be real. Every possession will count. White knows what works in the WNBA. She's not experimenting. She's executing Indiana Fever versus Las Vegas Aces. The reigning champs versus the new era. Can Clark lead a competitive fight? Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty. Sabrina versus Caitlin. Enough said. Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. Rookie rivalries heat up with Angel Reese and the Sky in town. These aren't just games, they're statements. Every nationally televised game will be a showcase of Clark's growth and the Fever's rise. The Fever led the WNBA in road attendance last season because of one player, Caitlin Clark. Her impact has already changed how the league is viewed, but it's not just about ticket sales, it's about energy. It's about making Gainbridge Fieldhouse one of the loudest arenas in the league. And that fan support, that could be the edge in close games this season. Caitlin Clark didn't just sit back during her offseason break, she trained with a purpose. Reports suggest Clark focused heavily on strength training, stamina, and studying film. Her goal? To elevate her decision-making, reduce turnovers, and become a more efficient scorer. She also spent time working on her off-the-ball movement, so defenders can't just key in when she has the ball. That's a scary prospect for WNBA defenses. Clark, now stronger, smarter, and quicker in year 2. The media attention on Caitlin Clark isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's intensifying. She's the face of a new era, appearing in Nike ads, magazine covers, and national interviews. But how does that affect her game? This season will be a true test of her mental fortitude. Can she balance fame and focus? So far, she's handled the spotlight like a veteran, but the pressure will be constant. Still, with the Fever giving her the support she needs, Clark looks ready to turn all that attention into fuel for her fire. While all eyes are on Caitlin, Aliyah, and the veterans, there are a few X factors on the Fever roster worth watching. Lexi Hull. The guard has shown flashes of two-way impact. With spacing improved this year, she could thrive as a slasher and spot-up shooter. Sophie Cunningham. Known for her grit and outside shooting, she could be the perfect floor spacer when Clark is driving to the rim. Brianna Turner. Her length and rebounding could be key when facing powerhouse teams like Las Vegas or Seattle. If even one of these players breaks out, Indiana's ceiling gets that much higher chemistry. With so many new faces, it may take time to find rhythm. Defense? Can Clark and others take that next step on the defensive end? Injuries. Depth has improved, but a few key injuries could derail momentum. Consistency. This young team has to avoid long losing streaks to stay in playoff contention. The good news, with Stephanie White's system, leadership, and offseason planning, the Fever look better equipped than ever to handle adversity. Here's where it gets exciting. The 2025 offseason could be one of the most important in Fever history. With many WNBA contracts expiring due to the upcoming collective bargaining agreement, there could be a massive shift in free agency. Indiana, with a rising star, a passionate fan base, and a clear upward trajectory, could become the destination for elite talent. If Clark and the Fever perform well this season, don't be surprised to see big-name players express interest in joining the movement. Caitlin Clark helped flip the WNBA on its head. In year 2, she's got reinforcements, a seasoned head coach, and a mission: win basketball games. This isn't just about potential anymore. This is about performance. The Indiana Fever have set the stage for something special. Now it's up to Clark and her teammates to turn expectations into results. results. It didn't take long for Caitlin Clark to start drawing heat from veteran players and opposing fan bases. From physical matchups to tense post-game exchanges, rivalries are forming fast. Games against the Chicago Sky featuring Angel Reese are becoming must-watch TV. Then there's the ongoing competition with other young stars like Ryan Howard and Haley Jones. The next generation is loaded, and Caitlin's right in the center of it. Could we be seeing the start of a WNBA version of Steph versus LeBron? The tension is real, and it's fueling drama the league hasn't seen in years. Indiana Fever fans have always been passionate, but Caitlin Clark brought a wave. Home games are now selling out. Jersey sales are off the charts. TV ratings through the roof. This isn't just local, it's national. We're seeing little girls in Iowa, New York, and even overseas wearing Fever gear. Clark's impact goes beyond basketball. It's cultural, and the Fever organization has responded with upgraded facilities, marketing, and full-on commitment to becoming a powerhouse franchise. Caitlin Clark's game was already electric, but there's still untapped potential. This season, fans should watch for improved shot selection, making her offense even more efficient pick and roll mastery, and working tighter with Boston and Mitchell defense, better positioning and anticipation on the perimeter leadership, commanding the locker room and elevating teammates. When a player's biggest strength is their work ethic, the ceiling just keeps rising. Top-tier teams like the Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty, and Connecticut Sun still rule the roost, but behind them, the field is wide open. The Fever could realistically push to a 4th or 5th seed if everything clicks. And with Clark's offensive firepower and Boston's inside dominance, they're one hot streak away from shaking up the playoff picture. No longer an easy win, Indiana is now a team opponent's circle on the calendar. Because it's personal, it's packed, and it's loud. Caitlin Clark isn't just trying to win games, she's trying to shift the culture. Her presence has boosted attendance, inspired a new generation, and brought major attention to women's sports. But with that spotlight comes pressure. Can she stay consistent? Can she win big games? Can she lead a franchise from the ground up? Kelsey Mitchell is now seeing cleaner looks thanks to Clark drawing double teams. Aaliyah Boston is feasting in the paint because defenders have to respect the outside threat, and bench players like Lexi Hull are stepping up under less pressure. That's what true superstars do. They elevate the whole unit, and Caitlin's passing vision, timing, and IQ are unlocking new dimensions for the Fever. Clark isn't just dominating on the court, she's learning how to own the spotlight off it too. From post-game interviews to major features in ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and even fashion magazines, Clark is showing poise and authenticity. She answers tough questions, embraces her critics, and never shies away from the moment. In an age where branding matters, Clark is becoming a marketing dream, and that visibility helps grow the WNBA as a whole. It starts on defense, more communication, smarter switches, and physical play. Add in the grit of players like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, and you've got toughness that was missing last season. Combine that with Clark's firepower, and the Fever now have a balanced attack. They're no longer just exciting, they're dangerous Fever versus Liberty, a test against Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart's juggernaut Fever versus Aces. Can they keep up with Ajo Wilson and the reigning champs? Fever versus Sky, rivalry alert. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark always delivers heat. Fever versus Sun, Stephanie White's revenge game against her former team. These games will define the Fever's season and Caitlin Clark's growth. So what would success look like for Clark and the Fever in year 2? A winning record above .500, definitely winning a playoff series, ambitious but possible Clark earning all WNBA honors. Within reach, Fever becoming a must-watch team every week, already happening. What matters most is progress, not just hype, but wins, not just talent, but cohesion. And this roster looks ready to deliver. That's where stars become legends. And that's what Caitlin Clark is chasing. Not just accolades, but a legacy. With better coaching, experienced teammates, and lessons learned, she's equipped for the challenge. So buckle up, WNBA fans. This ride is just getting started. Since Caitlin Clark's arrival, Indiana Fever home games have transformed from casual outings to full-blown events. packed arenas, celebrities courtside, national media coverage. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's a cultural moment, and the Fever are thriving under the spotlight, from heated exchanges with opposing guards to social media spats and intense fan debates. Clark is becoming the face of a new era of WNBA rivalries. Expect sparks to fly when she faces players like Angel Reese, Skylar Diggins-Smith, or Jackie Young. These aren't just games, they're battles for legacy. With leaders like Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, and Sydney Colson around, Clark isn't navigating year 2 alone. They're helping her grow into a leader, stay grounded, and yes, Caitlin Clark finally got a break this winter, but don't think she stopped grinding. From refining her left-hand drives to watching tape and working on her defensive footwork, Clark used her time off wisely. Word from training camp, she's leaner, sharper, and more vocal. While 2025 is all about progress, the Fever front office is already thinking long-term. They're eyeing big-name free agents in 2026. They want to build a dynasty, not just a playoff team. And with the new collective bargaining agreement on the horizon, expect some game-changing moves. Clark may be the cornerstone, but the blueprint includes much more. Clark's popularity is inspiring millions of young girls to pick up a basketball. Youth signups have skyrocketed. Social media is flooded with kids mimicking her deep threes and no-look passes. She's not just a player, she's a movement, and the future of women's basketball is brighter because of her. With the Olympics on the horizon, fans are wondering, could Caitlin Clark make Team USA? It's not a guarantee, but if her sophomore season starts strong, she could very well get the call. A chance to play with legends like Diana Taurasi and Brianna Stewart. One of the most exciting dynamics this season? The growing chemistry between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. In year 1, they showed flashes of brilliance, pick and rolls, high-low actions, and instinctive reads. But now, with a full offseason together and a better supporting cast, this duo has the potential to become one of the most dangerous tandems in the WNBA. The inside-out synergy is real, and defenses will have their hands full. As a rookie, Caitlin Clark was learning how to lead. Now, she's owning it. She's more vocal in huddles, commanding during timeouts, and steady when games get tough. That confidence comes from knowing the league, knowing her team, and most importantly, knowing herself. Clark is no longer just a talented newcomer. She's becoming the heartbeat of the Indiana Fever this season. Expect the Indiana Fever to be everywhere. ESPN, ABC, Amazon Prime. The networks want Clark, and they want her often. That national exposure means more pressure, but also more opportunity to show the world how far this team has come. Every game is a chance for Clark and the Fever to build a legacy. Under the lights, Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a brand. Her Nike deal, commercials, NIL legacy, media appearances, merchandise sales. She's influencing how WNBA players are marketed and valued. She's rewriting the rules. And with that influence comes a responsibility to uplift the game. Clark's navigating that role with class and ambition. The Fever are no longer just developing, they're competing. Clark is no longer just adjusting, she's attacking. And fans, they're no longer curious, they're invested. The Indiana Fever have laid the foundation. Now, the mission is clear: grow stronger, play smarter, and chase greatness. One major difference this year: how teams are defending Caitlin Clark. Last season, many teams underestimated her WNBA transition. Not anymore. Now she's facing traps, switches, and face guarding nearly every possession. It's a sign of respect, but also a challenge. And it's forcing Clark to become even smarter, faster, and more efficient. With every touch, Caitlin Clark's impact goes beyond the court. Just look at the numbers. Home games, sold out. Road games, packed. Merchandise, flying off shelves. Clark has turned Indiana into a WNBA hotbed, and the Fever are seeing record-breaking attendance numbers. This isn't just good for the team, it's great for the entire league. Most rookies hit what's known as the rookie wall, that late-season dip from the grind of a pro schedule. But Clark powered through it in year 1, finishing strong and staying sharp even into the playoffs. That experience, it's paying off now. She's rested, refocused, and more prepared than ever to handle the demands of an 82-game calendar. Yes, Caitlin Clark can shoot from the logo, but this season, she's diversifying her game. More mid-range jumpers, more drives to the rim, more off-ball action and quick cuts. Under Coach Stephanie White, Clark's offensive toolkit is expanding, and defenders can't just camp out beyond the arc anymore. Every highlight of Caitlin Clark goes viral. Every no-look pass, every step-back three, every every clutch moment. She's creating daily content without even trying, and it's helping introduce millions of new fans to the WNBA with the 2025 offseason approaching and the collective bargaining agreement up for renegotiation. The Fever could position themselves as a free agent destination, especially if they win a playoff series this year. Imagine pairing Clark and Boston with another star. The future is wide open. This might only be year 2, but make no mistake, we're in the Caitlin Clark era. She's changing the Fever, she's changing the league, and she's just getting started. From buzzer beaters to playoff runs to sold